Hey, this is Sully for Anti-Social News, and this is the body count report for Tuesday, March the 13th, 2018. So, I'm going to be reading to you some headlines of stories that may have been a little overlooked, life or death situations from around the world, either directly or indirectly, life or death situations. So, without further ado, here's the body count report. Link list number 157. First up, two articles here about a plane crash in South Asia. 49 dead from plane that crashed while landing in Nepal, Times of India reporting, and at least 50 die in Kathmandu airport crash, Times of India reporting on that as well. Links in the description as always. Now from Manila Times, we have Negros probes for measles cases. Very communicable disease there. Could be deadly for elderly and infants. Moving on, we have the new killer queen of covert, female spy master, director of the new CIA, and Times of India reporting fate of U.S. 2+2 dialogue hangs in the balance. Check the links out in the description there on her and on what it means to foreign relations with India. We have the addendum stories. Quite a few overlooked from March the 12th. Disturbing headlines there. We have I lured 9-year-old girl with $10 Nigerian dollar biscuit, then raped her, says 52-year-old man to the court. Disturbing story. Sorry to have to read that headline to you. Interesting story about economic relations with Tunisia. Links in the description. Vanguard Nigeria on all these Nigerian stories that I'm reading. Federal government committed to rescuing Dapchi girls, says the minister. And a story on climate research, and which is from the Commonwealth Heads of States, which is good. I'm glad to see people are looking into living more clean, having good clean energy. Not really because I think the world is going to end if we don't. I just think that clean, green energy is good monetarily and for the health of people. I've been to other countries that don't have as high of emission standards as the U.S. does, and it was a little hard to breathe for me there. And a lot of people have lung and skin conditions because of it. And as I've reported last year, 20% of the population's causes of death involved the pollution. So it is a life or death situation there in other countries. I'm glad to see Nigeria is taking an initiative to be more green. All right, we have car crushes 15-year-old boy to death in Osogbo. Sad story there, teenager. And Ikpeazu plans telemedicine in Abia. And this is a cool story. This is a story about science and technology helping people in rural parts of Nigeria with a dial-a-doc program, which is an awesome story. Good read. Check it out. Vanguard Nigeria reporting. Federal government probes sources of Boko Haram IEDs materials. IED stands for improvised explosive device, and Boko Haram is getting the materials to make those things from somewhere, whether it's locally or foreign. That needs to be found out so they can cut off their supply. And a follow-up, Insurgency. Army intensifies measures to detonate improvised explosive devices in northeast. So northeastern Nigeria is where a lot of the Boko Haram strongholds are, and the Buhari government appears to be taking this very seriously and taking them out. So good job on that one. Now we have where I'm not so impressed with Buhari's government, Benue. I'm surprised The IGP Idris disobeyed my directive, says Buhari. Um, Check that out. This is why a lot of people are saying they need to be treating the Benue investigation as a military matter and not a police matter, because the federal police appear to be bungling the situation. All right. And it does appear Buhari is not treating the Fulani herdsmen who did the massacre in Benue. He's not treating that seriously. So we have a little corruption goes a long way, says me, about this story. The EFCC grills Modu Sheriff over Nigerian $12 billion aircraft, which is roughly $70 million aircraft, which was purchased. Not exactly the kind of a vehicle that a humble civil servant can afford. Now we have a scary situation in Akwa Ibom, where the government is tasked on amnesty for repentant cultists. Now, when they say cultists, they actually mean gang members, essentially. So gang members who kidnap and murder people and are constantly fighting with other gangs who make their money by extortion and murder, and the government of Akwa Ibom is trying to treat them as if they are legitimate people, which is disgusting. Moving on. That's just my opinion. Feel free to comment in the description below, in the comments below, if you agree with me that people who kidnap and murder are disgusting. Okay, the federal government says most suicide bombings are done under drug influence, which is a horrifying statistic. Policemen killed as youths clash with soldiers over food party in Delta. So this is a follow-up to a lot of the Delta violence. There's been some crazy stories coming out of the Nigerian Delta there, and then we have a very sad story. Woman allegedly murders her infant in Sokoto, and she apparently did it because the child was born out of wedlock. Very sad situation there. Moving on, Syrian army splinters rebel enclave in Ghouta onslaught. Ynet News reporting on this, and the same story from same conflict actually. No, different conflict. Oh goodness, what am I reading? Syrian army splinters rebel enclave in Ghouta onslaught, and Turkish military encircles Syrian town of Afrin. So we have Irish Times reporting on Afrin and Ynet News reporting on Ghouta. Abbas blames Hamas for assassination attempt on the Palestinian Prime Minister. Irish Times reporting here, and I have the same story, Palestinian Prime Minister's convoy hit by roadside bomb, from Ynet News. So two angles on that story. Now we have Syrian Observer says war has killed more than 500,000. Ynet News reporting on that. And wow, okay, that's a horrible link list, but what we can take away from this is you know what, I really like the story about the telemedicine. That's my favorite story out of all that. Medicine in rural areas is a life or death situation. It doesn't have to be guns a-blazing for it to be a life or death situation, and I'm glad those people are getting the medical attention they need. And with that, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Giveaway coming up soon. I think we're going to be doing it Monday. Giveaway details in the description below as well. If you want to collaborate with me or to do a link list where you read out the links, just let me know. All my contact information is below. Cheers. Stay safe, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching. Check out patreon.com/antisocialnews and consider becoming a patron. I do post Patreon exclusive video for my paid subscribers there. So check out the full Antisocial News experience.